Hi, it's Aoife and Devitt, and we are delighted to be back for Series 3 of our 2026 Fiftyfaces Podcast. Of course, this podcast is packed full of investment insights and wisdom, but we're also going to look at the cultural side this time. Tune in to hear why strategy is so important.
Strategy should be simple. And what I mean by simple is it should get to the heart of what the strategic challenge is that an organization is facing. What you have to do as the strategic advisor is find a way to cut through noise, to try and get to essentials.
Everything comes in waves, and the world that we're living in that is incredibly regulated, all trying to control stuff. We probably can't control, and we just need to be more creative and imaginative about finding our way forward.
How to think about planning.
One of the things that I think is critical in life is spending your time really thinking about the plan. Don't just rush into things. I want to go in a learning environment. I want to be in a think tank to force myself to focus on my business, have people stress test it, poke holes and so forth. Let's get the business plan right.
Some of the surprising sources of influence.
I went to a Catholic school all my life, and I was really shaped by the nuns and some of the lay teachers there. For those who've never met a nun before, they've missed out. Some of the most incredibly strong people I've met, fearless, and they forced me to think about being a good person in addition to being a good student. And that's often hard to do with young people.
We are looking at things as diverse as ESG, social responsibility, and where we go from here.
I think the question that we ask as researchers in the beginning, whether there is a financial benefit from environmental, social and governance characteristics, is actually not the right question to ask anymore. I think it's more of kind of how we as a society and also how we as a financial services industry, should our clients and asset owners actually want that? How can we effectively generate long-term investment returns whilst at the same time also creating a sustainable societal or environmental impact?
We talk about authenticity and some of the surprising places that we get inspiration.
When I was around 7 or 8 and we were on holiday, I said, Dad, you seem quite different on holiday. You know, you seem to be a kind of different person. And I said, is this the real you? Or is the real you the person at work? And he said to me, oh no, this is the real me. And I really vividly remember, you know, we were just on a bucket and spade holiday in Devon and just thinking, God, that is awful. You know, that the real you is 2 weeks a year when we're on holiday, and this thing called a job means that you're not you. So I guess a very early sense of work should be something that brings you pleasure, brings you joy, makes you feel kind of more you, not all the time, but that is something that isn't a burden that's fundamentally changing you.
We hear how constraints can inspire innovation.
I do believe that the years that I've spent working on my own in many occasions have built a certain sense of maximizing resources. I would say that that's one of the biggest objectives of mine, is truly enhance and develop the investment office that we lack.
And look at why careers can be like a game of chess.
It's like in chess, you can't always just take your opponent's piece, right? Sometimes you have to make a small defensive move, or you might even have to sacrifice your own pieces as well. So, I mean, increasingly as I get older, I view the world in that way.
As always, we end with wisdom for the ages.
Be brave. Don't be afraid to fail. Tomorrow, the sun will always rise. Try not to let your current perspectives limit your future ambitions.
So tune in from next week to hear from all of our special guests on Series 3 of the Fiftyfaces Podcast. You can find our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, as always, for your support.